Meghan Markle is black, and I don't care. Does that make me racist? Maybe. Help me sort this out here. So, as we know, Meghan Markle, she's engaged to Prince Harry, who's a member of the British royal family. She's American. She's African American. One parent is black, the other is white. So she's definitely of African descent. She's going to be marrying into the British royal family, which changes history. This has never happened before. I want to tell you my response to that versus what I'm seeing in headlines as I look at articles online. My response is, great. The fact that she's black, I don't care. Good for the prince, good for her. Seemed like a good match. Good for them. But I don't care either way that she's black. But what I'm seeing, the response from African Americans, is that this is a big deal because this is an African American changing. This is like when President Obama was elected president. This is the first black president. Now, as for me, when he was elected president, it wasn't a big deal. I was like, well, okay, yeah, it's the first black president. Of course, his mother was white, but same situation. He's black. He's the first black president. We've never had that before. Great. That was my response. It wasn't emotional for me. And my point is this. I think what I'm understanding is, and I'm trying to understand, is that by default, it's a little bit racist for me not to understand or have an emotional response the fact that history is changed when President Obama is elected, or when Meghan Markle marries into the British royal family and no one of African descent has ever done that. That's a big deal. But I guess for me, what tones it down for me and separates it for me is because, I don't know, I'm a millennial, born in 1981. I grew up seeing where Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell kissed Lisa Turtle. And I watched that and thought, who cares? Big deal that she's black, big deal that he's white, I don't care. Which when reality, what's funny about him, Mark Paul Gosselaar, he's part Asian. I thought that's interesting. But anyway, I guess for me, I think I just don't care either way. Interracial marriage, who cares? But the disconnect for me, because I don't identify as an African American, what that means is I am not relating to people who are African American, and that is a big deal for when history is changed, because finally for the first time someone of African descent has done something that has not been done before. So by default, maybe that makes me racist. And I talk about that on my channel here from time to time. That's actually one of the themes, is the concept that my channel is all about exploring ethnicity, celebrating our diversity, finding out what we have in common, not what we are different on different views or different backgrounds. I want to celebrate what we have in common. So in the process of that, as I ask questions, as I show that I am naive in some ways, I think that those things taken out of context can seem racist. But I say it's a risk worth taking if I'm trying to understand things better. And I think I'm learning something today even by watching this video. That for me, I think, big deal if she's black and marrying into the family. Good for her, good for him, yay. But because I'm not African American, I don't identify that way, it's a completely different deal if you are of African American descent. It's worth celebrating. So now I understand when I say, okay, big deal, she's black, he's white, who cares? And I think that's in contrast to prior generations who, if this were 40 years ago, that would be an outrage that he's marrying someone who's black. My generation, I'm indifferent toward it. I'm like, who cares what race you are? Marry who you love, right? But that's not enough to not be racist. As someone who is perceived as a white American male, that's not enough for me. I need to recognize that this is worth celebrating, that this has never been done before. Someone of African descent has never been married into the British royal family. Now, that's my take on it. But I have a feeling that people who are African American will be watching this video, and I hope you are. Help me. Give me a commentary on what I've said today. Is this fair enough that I am distanced to a certain degree where the fact that I'm indifferent can be perceived possibly as racist in some ways, though my heart is in the right place? Is that kind of what's going on here? I want to know. I want to be enlightened. I don't want to be perceived as racist by anyone. I want to celebrate ethnicity and diversity. That's what I'm here to do. But this is also me sorting that out, and I think we're all on some journey to distance ourselves completely from racism altogether. Help me sort this out. I want to become a better human being. And again, the goal is to celebrate ethnicity and diversity and find out what we have in common. And thank you so much for leaving the comment to help me sort this out.